Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool 2514 Western Electric desk telephone. And basically this telephone can be used as a regular telephone with a receiver handset, or it can plug in to these headsets. And so the plug is in the back, and this is what the plug looks like on them. And there's two headsets here. And we know that this headset here, we're going to go through and do a little more troubleshooting, but this is the initial checkout. And I want to go through this headset a little more, but it seems like this headset's working. So we want to check our connections, and we want to clean our contacts here on our plug. I know that this black headset, though, is not transmitting. So we want to get a look at the situation of why it's not transmitting. And then you have your plug here. So I want to move the headsets out of the way. And Frank is telling me that this telephone works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work. And so I haven't seen that part of it fail yet, but there's a lot going on here because we have this telephone apart, and we're going to show you some of the insides, but it has a switch on the side of this telephone, and supposedly that was to turn the bell off. But if I plug this telephone in, and now it's plugged into the analyzer, I want to give you some dial tone. It just hung up. It just sees the analyzer. It just hung up. If I flip that switch, it turns the analyzer on. So it's like the telephone, I don't know what they have it wired to, but it doesn't seem to be for the bell. We'll go ahead and... The only way it's going to turn the bell off is if you watch the analyzer, it takes the telephone off hook. So it just sees the analyzer. That's why it turned the bell off. Somebody may have wired so you can see the analyzer kick in. But the phone's actually dead. It won't dial out. It won't do anything. But it takes it offline. It throws the analyzer. It activates the analyzer. So this is really not an off and on switch for the bell. So I don't have any clue what that switch is for, and we're going to eliminate it or we're going to hook it up properly where it does turn the bell off. Because at this point, it's not really turning the bell off. The only reason with this switch up, the bell stops working is because it takes the phone off hook. So the switch is hooked up wrong, obviously. So now what we want to do is I'll go ahead and unplug the unit. We'll give you some looks at this 2514. These were cool telephones because you could use the handset or you could use the headset. And in the headset mode, you just want to turn the telephone on, but yet you can have the receiver hung up, and then your headset would work. But we want to get a look at this telephone here. So we'll pull the cover off. And I need to get into this telephone further to see what they've actually done with this switch, because they're not really turning the bell off with it, and it really does not serve any purpose the way it's hooked up right now. So this gives you a look at a 2514 on the inside. And of course, here's our plug in the back for the headphones. Another issue with this telephone is it's not polarity protected. So you may plug this in one jack and the telephone won't work properly, and then you could plug it in another jack and it would work properly. So basically it's not polarity protected, and that could be the issue. They might be moving this telephone around into different locations. If they're leaving it in the same location, that's fine, But if the telephone line's ever worked on and something happens, then the telephone is not polarity protected, so it may not work right when they go to use it at some time. So we want to get a polarity protect circuit in this telephone. We want to make sure that the switch on the side actually does turn off the bell instead of just taking the phone off hook. And there would be no reason for this switch to take the phone off hook because we already have a switch like that here for the headphones and for the receiver. So this switch on the side, Frank was telling me, was to turn the bell off, and it does not work properly. It's hooked up improperly. So we want to get all those issues straightened out. I want to go through these headsets. I want to find out why this one doesn't have transmit, and I want to make sure that all the connections are cleaned up on both headsets and everything's working fine. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are in the middle of the process of repairing this headset. And so what we're going to do now is plug in the telephone, and we want to give you some dial tone. And now I want to take dial tone away. So now we've dialed a 2, and I want to tap on the transmitter. And every time you see that red light, that's an indication. Now I'm going to go ahead and modulate. So I'm transmitting. So every time I transmit, that light lights up. That's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. So we know that this headset is repaired now. It did not have any transmit before. And if you've never seen one of these plugs on this handset, I'm going to go ahead and, or headset. This is the bracket that keeps the plugs together. And this is what they look like when they're not in the bracket that holds them together. So we can put all that back together again now. We want to take a look at them. Want to make sure that we've got everything proper. And then we can test them again. We'll go ahead now that we have our bracket back on. Now there will be a little play in these. That's just the way they're designed. They wanted that so that it could plug into the unit. So we'll go ahead and make our connection, plug our telephone back in, give you some dial tone, and then we'll transmit again after we take away dial tone. So we dialed a 2, and now we want to transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that this part of the telephone, the headset's been repaired. We can go ahead and unplug the analyzer. And now what we can do is we're going to start designing out the polarity protect circuit for this telephone, because this telephone does not have a polarity protect circuit. And we want to make sure that no matter where this telephone is plugged in at, it'll always work properly. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with the repair of this telephone and the headset. And we have a second headset that we want to check also, but we went through that earlier and it checked out good. So now what we want to do is we have our switch here on the side, and that turns the bell off and on now. So what we want to do is go ahead and ring the telephone. And it doesn't have a very big bell in it, so it's not going to be real loud. over and flip the switch down on a ring cycle, and that actually turns the bell off now. As earlier in the video when you would flip the switch up, it would just take the phone off the hook, but you didn't have any dial tone or you couldn't dial out or anything. So we'll catch it on a ring cycle when it comes back around and turn it on. We'll answer the telephone, give you some dial tone, and we want to transmit into the handset. So if you watch that red light, we want to dial a 2 and make dial tone go away. And every time you see that red light, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hello, hello. So we know that this telephone is ringing in. It has receive and transmit. We'll walk through our numbers now. I'm going to end in a 2. Now that our Polarity Protect circuit is installed in this telephone, no matter where you plug this telephone in at, it will always work properly. So that's been taken care of also. We went through the leaf contacts on the switch for the headsets, and that's been taken care of and cleaned. We went through the network, made sure everything was wired right, and checked for connections. We also went through the connections on the headsets and made sure the connection in the back of the telephone was in good shape, and we cleaned all that. So everything's been finished up on this telephone. We want to go ahead and plug a headset into it now, and we have it plugged in, but we're going to check another one also. So we kind of want to turn the phone sideways, and we'll go ahead and turn the headset on, and it'll activate the analyzer, give you some dial tone. Now we want to take dial tone away, and I want to transmit into the transmitter. Every time you see that red light like earlier, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hello, hello. So we know that this headset has been repaired and it's working. We want to go ahead and unplug the headset. We can disconnect the switch there, and we'll move this headset to the side, and we'll go ahead and plug this headset in. We'll turn it on. Want to give you some dial tone. And now we want to transmit into this headset, but we're going to dial a 2 and take dial tone away. And we want to talk into the headset just like last time. Every time you see that red light, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. So we know that both headsets are working. We can go ahead and unplug this one. And what we'll do here is we'll call a time and temp number. I have a switch box here, and I'll push the switch, and that gives us a line out. And we'll call a time and temp number. Now, they're having problems with their equipment. You'll hear the recording start, and then you'll hear a hum, and then the recording continues. So that's on their end. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. And we can also go ahead and plug the headset in that was repaired. We'll turn it on, give you some dial tone, and we'll call that number.
Good evening. Today is Friday, October 4th. The time is 8:25. Current temperature 84 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, 30% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, lows around 70. Saturday, mostly cloudy, showers and thunderstorms likely. Highs around 80, temperature falling through the 70s in the afternoon.
Okay, we can call one other number. We'll turn the headset off, turn it back on, give you dial tone. We'll call my number and it'll be busy. And then what we'll do is turn the headset totally off. We'll give you some dial tone, and we'll call that number again.
Good evening. Today is Friday, October 4th. The time is 8:26. Current temperature 84 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, 30% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, lows around 70. Saturday, mostly cloudy, showers and thunderstorms likely, highs around 80, temperature falling through the 70s in the afternoon.
Now that we know that this telephone has been repaired and the headset, we can return it to Frank and he can start enjoying this telephone. I believe they use this in a library setting, so a lot of times they're using the headset because they're probably looking up information for people. And now they can start using this telephone again. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.